Come on. Come here. Oh, well, good morning, everybody. Today, we actually have an issue with Libby. So yesterday, we had the vet here, and we'll go to that footage and let her explain what's going on with Libby. Hi, everybody. So this afternoon here, we've got a little issue with Libby. And so our vet and good neighbor has come up, and she's going to take a peek at her. She has a little bit of a swollen umbilical cord, and we treated her with iodine really good when she was born, and even get her a shot. What's the name of that stuff we gave her, Pecha? We
did a tetanus antitoxin.
So that should have been all she needed, but she's got a little bit of swelling there. Hey, Brenda, you take the camera, and I'll let Pecha talk and explain what we're doing in case somebody else might have the same issue and not sure what to do about it.
So what I'm going to just do is feel the navel and see whether it has any hard swelling, and if that's the case, then we're going to treat her for infection of the navel, because that can travel to the joints, and then we can end up with a bigger issue known as navel ill. So if she'll let me, I'm just going to feel here and see how hard that is. There is definitely some extra swelling there from what I would like to see, and it does seem to be somewhat painful. So I do think we're going to go ahead and treat her for navel infection. So we'll probably start with penicillin and then see how she responds to that, and if we have to change and get more aggressive, we'll do that.
Okay.
But so far her joints seem good, and she has no lameness, and we definitely want to get on that before we get lame.
Yeah, this is new. I mean, I haven't really been looking at it, but I was really shocked to see it here this morning. So I'm glad you were able to come over. And,
so you know, when you see something like that, you're going to look at either infection or a hernia, and that's definitely not a hernia in her. I think we're dealing with a little bit of infection.
Okay, good.
So
how long will we have to give the penicillin?
We're gonna go at least 5 days, but I'm probably gonna have you do it a full week.
Okay. Back here in the butt?
You can do it here, or I usually prefer right here in the, yeah. So there's like right in front of the shoulder, there's a nice muscle right here that I would do it. You can either go in the muscle, or you can actually go under the skin too.
Okay. Under the skin, every time it just swells right up there. But that's
a little bleb is not a bad deal.
Okay.
So there's certain antibiotics you don't want to do under the skin, but penicillin, we'd be all right if we did that. So.
Right. And you said you might do something besides penicillin or after?
Yeah, I mean, I want you to let me know if, like, after 3 days, we should be seeing improvement, and that swelling should be going down.
Okay.
So if we aren't making progress.
How many days?
After 3 days.
After 3 days.
Yeah, after 3 days, you want to see some pretty good improvement.
Right.
And then if you're not, then we'll have to reassess and maybe change antibiotics and get a little more aggressive.
Okay. Perfect.
I will say penicillin's hard to get right now.
Oh, really?
But I have some stashed, so.
Why is it hard to get?
Because one of the manufacturing plants is shut down right now.
Oh, really?
That does all the generic penicillin production, so everything's on back order, and it's not fun.
Can I ask one question? What's the difference between when you felt a hernia versus an infection? What would the umbilical, the hernia be? feeling
So the
like?
hernia, you're gonna feel like a ring at the base of her belly, and you would be able to push everything up inside,
Okay.
flush. So here, I can't. It's tight at the belly, and there's no like opening there. But with a hernia, you'd be able to. There'd be an opening, and you'd be able to push everything up inside, and it's
Okay.
usually nice and soft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh. So we gave her a shot, and we're going to give her a shot once a day. And Brenda's concerned that me giving her a shot once a day is going to make her not like me. And there may be some truth to it temporarily, but I'm sure she'll get over it soon enough. And we've got to do it for her sake, so it'll all be good. But anyways, I had told you earlier that we were going to talk about my mowing machine today. So let's go to the hayfield and let's talk about the mower. So here we are out with my new mowing machine that I got a few months ago, and I have really not been too happy with this mower in our first sessions out with it. But there's been some pretty huge changes though of late, and I'll try to explain a little bit about them and what's going on with this mowing machine. So when I came down here this morning, I had only gone about 50 feet and I heard a crack, something. I hit something I knew I had. And so I didn't even make it around the rest of the field, and I realized I've got to go home because I had one knife that was broke. So I took the mower all the way back up to the farm, and what had happened is whatever I hit broke the bolt that holds the knife on, and it ended up being two knives that were partially broke. So I fixed those knives, and then I realized that the guard itself, the double lock guards, one of them had taken broke the top of them off. Well, I thought it'd probably mow fine just like that, so I came back down and I went to mowing, and it mowed okay. But I was noticing in that one spot where that guard was, the top was broke off, that was plugging up some, and not enough sometimes to stop me, but I was stopped a few times right because of that one spot. So I ended up going back home and changing the guard. Now here's a spot where I plugged up, and it's amazing. I'm picking up the cutter bar fairly easy, and I just back up and just sit there for a second, and it runs and cleans itself out. And so I'm going again. But I think I might have been after this round, I ended up going home again and getting that guard fixed. And after I fixed that guard, I don't think it plugged up at all. It mowed beautiful the whole rest of the time that I mowed. I didn't mow the whole field down, but about half of it. So I am starting to be very, very pleased with this mower. With this being a 9-foot cut, I've been asked by several people if I felt the side draft was an issue. And has to be some side draft issues, of course, because it's so long. But I think because of my harness being D-ring harnesses, I think that helps that problem. Of course, there's also that adjustment I've shown in another video to help with the side draft, but I'm really not seeing a big issue with it. Sometimes it does seem like it's sucking them into the field, and but I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, everything's tight on my heel chains, and with the D-ring harness with a 3-piece neck yoke, I think that helps out quite a lot. And so I think we're okay there. Time will tell as far as that goes.
One other thing I just thought of, and I thought I'd share it with you guys. I'm thinking I might actually take some of the air out of the tires. Being rubber tired, it should be a lot smoother ride than steel wheels, of course, but the tires I think have quite a lot of air in them, so I'm going to check how much air is in them and then probably take some of the air out so it'll be a more cushioned and a more comfortable ride. I might be wrong, but I'm going to try it.
So as you can see, this is quite a large field, a very long field, and this is something like July 7th or 8th, somewhere in that time. So it's a little bit late cut hay, and it's not the best quality hay, although it's quite thick in a lot of places.
but there's really nothing that's been lodged, nothing that's laying down flat on the ground. And I'm thinking a lot of the problems I've been having with this mow machine is I've been working in a spot up at the farm that was lodged so bad, and this mower just was not doing a very good job of cutting it. And to be, truthful about it all, my old number 9 mower would have had tremendous trouble mowing in that spot there also. One time I mowed it all one way and that worked pretty good, but if I mowed where it was lodged, if I was going the way it was already laid down, it just was not doing a very good job. And I think part of the reason is because this is such a extremely heavy duty mower, and being a 9-foot cut, it's not allowed to get as close to the ground as my number 9 mower did. That cutter bar was a little bit lighter duty than this one, and the shoe on the inner shoe has an adjustment to be able to lower it really low, and so I'm able to get underneath the lodge stuff and cut it a little bit better. Whereas this one, it's a little bit higher and it doesn't get down underneath it. So when I'm dealing with lodge stuff, it is going to be an issue, but it is anyways. And it's just something I gotta deal with and get it cut earlier before it lodges, which is probably one of the best things to do. But out in this regular hay, it is just cutting beautiful. I'm able to go quite fast. As you can see, I'm using Bill and Baron, and I thought part of my problem was the fact that they were walking too fast, and that's why it just did not work quite so good. So I've been using Duke and Earl on this mower quite a bit, and they walk a lot slower at this stage. And thinking that that's what I had to do, well, in this hay here, which is quite thick in places, with Bill and Baron, they're going really fast. And I'm telling you, we're really putting the hay down with this 9-foot cut and the speed that they're going, and it's cutting. It's just doing a great job. So I think I'll put the name of the company that I bought this from and even their telephone number on the screen right here, so that if anyone else is interested, they could call this company up and talk more to them. They have several different options. They have this big 9-foot cut, and they also they go even as small as a 6-foot cut for 1 horse with a tiny little motor on it. And it's surprising, the motor is really not that loud. I did use some earplugs here on the drone footage, but and I'll continue to do that, but it's really not that loud at all. I also thought I was having some issues with the exhaust and smelling that, but for the last quite some time now, I don't even think about the exhaust, so it really can't be too bad. It's also very interesting with this machine at the corners. I don't even pick up my cutter bar. I just stop and back up, and it kind of pushes the hay out of the way and just continue right on through, because the cutter bar is always running. And with the old number 9 mowers, every time you stopped, the cutter bar stopped. So you had to deal with the corners a little bit differently. But it's working really nice on the corners. I just stop and back up and don't even lift the cutter bar up, and away we go. It is surprising though, as I'm getting the knack of the cutter bar, it's not that hard to lift up at all. So that's another big thing. I think my horses and myself just weren't used to this machine. So when I first started out, I was just having terrible troubles with so many different things, and I just wasn't happy with it. I think in that first couple weeks when I owned it, for what the trying times I had with it, if someone came along and wanted to buy it, I'd have sold it. But now I'm glad I didn't, and I'm just having a lot more luck with it and a lot more enjoyment with it. And my goodness, with a 9-foot cut, you're really getting a lot of work done. So this piece of property is about a 14-acre field, I believe. And maybe it's 12 or 14, I can't remember. And this is about a half a mile from the farm. And there's another parcel in between it that my neighbor owns. And I have, for years now, farmed her land also. But this spring I decided I've got to cut back. And so I told her that I'm not going to farm her land anymore. And so she was able to get another large farmer to come in and do that haying there. So you'll see at some point here where that's already been cut the first time. As we're going through this property right here, you can see there's a tremendous amount of kind of gray looking stuff there. Well, those are all wildflowers. I think since I've stopped milking cows, very little manure has been getting onto this field because it's so far from the farm, and I don't have as much manure as I used to when I was milking cows. So it's really been in decline, and it's got a lot of poor forage in here, but still overall it's still pretty good. Now right here you can see my neighbor's field where it's all green, and that's what I gave up, and I'm not doing her field anymore. She also put up a new barn you might be seeing here in the footage, I'm not sure, but that's her vet building that she keeps all of her stuff in and does some surgeries there. Here's just some footage of our surrounding farms. I really like putting the drone up and seeing all the aerial views. I hope you guys are enjoying it also.
So this morning we just mowed half this field, and it's surprising how well it dried, because the next evening we were able to bale this up. I've still having some troubles with my square baler, and so I decided not to even try it, and I just hired my neighbor to come up here with his round baler, and he baled it all up. So now we just have the center of this field to go, and we'll be all done with our first cutting. And this year, because of the troubles we've had with the baler and other issues, this is going to be the smallest hay crop of first cutting we've probably ever put in the barn. But we still will have plenty of feed with all our round bales.
Come here. Come here. Oh. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video for today. As you can see, we're on top of the hill and things are going great on the farm. So we'll see you next time. Have a great day. Come here. A little spunky. Oh.